TubeTalk today with Dad
and
Douglas Forsman.
Welcome, Doug. It's lovely to have you interviewing this week.
Yes.
How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. Not too much homework, so.
No, and you're in the middle school first or second 11 waiting to hear about cricket.
Yeah. Cricket.
And a couple of games this weekend, a rep game.
Action.
Exciting stuff. All right, mate. Should we talk? Should we get into it?
Yes. So, how are the shares going with the horses you bought at Karaka?
Pretty good. We've sold 70% of the horses, the yearlings that we bought at Karaka. So it's been, sales have been strong. I think they're moving a bit quicker than last year, which is great. Lots of success in the last year, and that helps a lot too. But I think we bought really nice horses.
Is there one in particular you'd like to talk about?
There's one filly there's a couple of people who've got shares penciled in, and as long as they confirm, there's only 5% left in her. So I think we should talk about her in case anybody's been looking at her and thinking about whether to get involved or not. And that's the Dissident Cluster filly.
Okay.
And that is a filly that she's very likely to be a Karaka Million horse. She's very mature, very forward filly. She's by Dissident, who was Australian Horse of the Year. She's got a half brother that's a stakes horse, a 2-year-old in Australia. So there's a lot of 2-year-old blood there, and she looks like she'll be a natural 2-year-old and a sort of 1,000 guineas up to a mile 3-year-old. That sort of looks like that looks like her sweet spot. So she wasn't overly expensive. I think it's just over $4,000 for the last 5% share in it. So if you've been thinking about her, have a look and get in touch with me. Love to have you involved in the last year.
Okay, so last week we had 3 winners. The first being Quick Preview at Elsley. Yes,
and we had to survive a protest, but well deserved, held up, got out, fought hard to the line. I don't think he was ever going to lose it. He's been a little bit unlucky this time in, and he's with bad draws, but that's his second win this prep, and he'll go to a $50,000 race in 2 weeks' time.
We also had Aristotle at Invercargill.
Finally broke through. This is also we talked about. He's either Tarzan or Jane, and he was Tarzan. We said if he decided to put his best foot forward, he'd win, and he did. He won by 3 lengths. And he actually, he won, it was dominant, and he backed up on the Monday and ran second. Just had to give the winner 5 kilos. So a win and a second over the weekend for him. It was great. And it'll be really interesting to see how this confidence booster helps him, because it can really help some horses, and with him he's got the ability, it's just confidence. So he'll run again on the 12th of March.
And finally last week we had Rakik at Brisbane who won as well.
Yeah, Rakik went up to Brisbane, $75,000 race. That was his second win in a row. Lovely ride from Matt McGillivray, and a lovely ride in midfield, came through, was dominant. Really good win, well deserved, and he'll be back again in a couple of weeks' time looking for 3 in a row. And that pushed his earnings over the $300,000 mark too.
So this week we've only got 2 runners.
No.
But we've got a pretty good bit of the week, so hopefully that makes up for it. So, our first runner, we have at Meta race 1, we've got Mighty Aslan.
Come back really well, 3/3 in a row. We're getting ready for a 2100 metre race with $50,000 in 2 weeks' time. So we need another run in between times, and we just felt a mile was a really good sharpener for him. And he's galloped really well this week. So he's got an awkward draw, Sam Spratt in the saddle. If he finds a nice spot, he can finish off well, and he's certainly a winning chance, even though the 1600 is a touch sharp for him.
And we've also got at Sunshine Coast race 5, Ferry Me Home.
On Sunday, yeah. So we're just looking for a nice staying race for him, and his race last week at Doomben got cancelled. They cancelled the whole meeting, so that was disappointing. So it's just sort of put us half a step out of where we want to be. So this was the most appropriate race for him. So Sunday, Sunshine Coast, Matt McGillivray, who won on Rakik, will ride. or could draw barrier 10 of 11. He's quite a hard going horse, so I imagine he's going to sort of get across and be in front or close to the lead. And as long as he doesn't overdo things and relaxes, he's a really, really good winning chance. It's how he relaxes on the running is the key, and if he does, I think he's a super, super chance.
And finally, we have Bet of the Week. And the Bet of the Week this week at Caulfield Race 6 is Super Seth.
Yeah, a really, really good race. And Melody Bell's in the race, and she's an outstanding horse. We'd all love to see her win for New Zealand, but she is first up. And first up last time she wasn't at her peak. And I'm just aware that Colding's in the race. He's had a fresh up run. And so is Super Seth. And he's had a fresh up run, and he won that fresh up race, Group 3. And he has also beaten Alligator Blood in a Group 1, and Alligator Blood just beat Catalyst last week in an amazing race. So Super Seth, I think, at the weight for age scale, and with that run under his belt, I think will be enormously hard to beat. And I was surprised he wasn't favourite. He's paying $2.90, and I think that's a little bit overs. So Super Seth is our Bet of the Week.
And that concludes our TubeTalk.
And we'll talk to you next week leading to New Zealand Derby.
Bye!
Head of the stretch, Secretariat, 2.5. Sham under a strong left-handed whip, and he's making his run now, but it's still Secretariat holding on. Secretariat by 2 lengths. Sham driving second. There's a strong left-handed whip again by Pinkai. He goes to it time and time again, but Ronnie Turcotte has his whip put away, and Secretariat has him put away. He's beginning to draw away. It is Secretariat. He's coming to the wire. He wins it by 2.5, almost 3.